Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Going down some rabbit holes lately. Okay, let's have a look. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading, just a few little bits and bobs first of all, bit of housekeeping. Speaking of house, the Dems in Minnesota in the State House, absolutely fabulous. So I gather it's now even numbers, so they've wrested back control, and I heard the figure that 95% voted for the Dems for the two special election seats in Minnesota. Amazon laid off another 16,000. How's that going for you guys that voted for the orange twerp, thinking that you'd get your Doge check and your tariff check and that all would be hunky-dory, and just difficult times at the moment. Okay. And I just want to mention in regards to the Alden Itkin plane that went up in Maine. I did a reading on it yesterday. Apparently the original passenger list was 8. 8 people was reduced to 6, so 2 were not on board. But apparently the company at the moment was, speaking of Amazon, bringing a case against Amazon on behalf of the warehouse employees and bringing a case against SpaceX for the employees, both personal injury, and they were big cases as well. Turns out also that the event planner had been highly involved with, is it Joel Osteen or something, the mega church? And he's, in dubious hot water under investigation. So there's a lot going on there, which just adds even more suspicion and fishiness to it all. But what I want to have a look at in this particular reading is that the Orange Twerp came out the other day and claimed that the US military have a secret weapon that he can't tell anybody about, called the discombobulator. Now, I can't even believe he got that word out, but anyhow, and we know that he can't help himself. He just blabs anything that he thinks will make him sound tough. He can't help himself and blab. Now, apparently, I'm going to say this verbatim because this is what he said. The discombobulator prevented Venezuela from getting their rockets off. Yeah, that sounds, from getting their rockets off. Anyhow, apparently reports from on the ground in Venezuela, Venezuelan soldiers have referred and reported that there was a sonic weapon that was used that basically led to, now if I go to the newspaper article here, while the Guards' account has not been independently verified, it follows reports that 100 Venezuelan security forces were unalived in the Venezuelan attack, while no American soldiers were injured. Now, apparently he's then claiming, did not share too many details, but insisted it was one which nobody else knows about. Oh my God. You wouldn't want to tell him any secrets, would you? And it's probably best not to talk about it after he's just blabbed it all over everywhere. Right, okay. Apparently it's claims about a disabling weapon that emitted an intense sonic weapon that brought the Venezuelan soldiers to their knees, according to an anonymous source account shared by a guard in Caracas. Soldiers were allegedly bleeding from the nose and vomiting blood. At one point they launched something, I don't know how to describe it. This is the report from this soldier. Don't know how to describe it. It was like in a very intense sound wave. Suddenly I felt like my head was exploding from the inside. We started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting. We fell to the ground, unable to move. Okay, this sounds like a very, very, very dangerous weapon. But of course now the Orange Twerp has blabbed about it, and you can just imagine that there is military throughout the world are frantically creating countermeasures that will reflect this weapon back. Now, apparently, allegedly, entertainment only, there are reports of something similar being used against protesters, against song and dancers in Minneapolis, and apparently even standing in front of it with headphones on. Noise cancelling headphones does not protect you from it. So if you see one of these, step to the side because it has to be pointed from what I understand. So what do we need to know about this particular weapon? So we're heading to Iran at the moment. What do we need to know? Now, I'm going to do a reading using the True Crime Oracle. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do my usual spread, but use the True Crime Oracle. The cards are very slippery. So if I drop bundles of them, I do apologise. But what do we need to know? You wouldn't tell them anything you didn't want blabbed, would you? Just, oh, I shouldn't be talking about it. I shouldn't be telling you about it. This is what we have. And, ooh, I can't, it's absolutely unbelievable. But tell me, what do we need to know about this not so secret weapon? Come on down, let's have a look. Ooh, 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 ooh. How's that for a first card out? I'm not even going to comment on that. Yeah, the 100 that lost their lives. It was pure and simple. Challenged by, now this is meeting. What I'm going to say is this was for the agreed upon extraction. So this was unleashed in regards to the agreed upon extraction. Serial killer, mass killer. In the past, intuition. We knew it was about. Intuition's also about within. So what it does, apparently it disrupts the organs. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition on this. Something that is alien. And this isn't aliens themselves. This is something that is alien. It's not been used on the battlefield until now. It's been used sort of secretively. Think of Cuba. This is new. This is new technology. And I'm looking at that, if you know Independence Day, and it opens up and the shaft comes down and it's just as massive that then explodes out. That's the vibe of it. It is something alien, new technology. Right. Always comes back to money. Money, 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 money. It's all about who got paid, who gets paid for this technology. Secret, that's no longer secret, but gets back to money. And externally, he was not supposed to blab about it, but he did. Blabbed about a secret. Internally, jealousy. Now, the orange twerp is so jealous. This is why he blabs, because he is jealous of everybody else. He is jealous of anybody that knows something that he doesn't know, so therefore he blabs because he's got to make himself feel important by saying, I know this secret thing. He can't help himself. Hopes and fears. Okay. Natural disaster. This is something that I'm just going to say it's going to unleash a natural disaster. I don't think they know the power of this. There's going to be some sort of disaster that it's going to unleash. Hidden boat perversion. Absolutely. So I would say that this weapon is on the fleet, hidden on the fleet that is heading to Iran. Perversion and burials, mass graves. I'm getting mass graves with that. Going to be lies about it, the fraud. And we've got, this is my card for Gaza, the landfill, pushed into landfill. Abuse, neglect. And then we've got water, a cleansing. Because we've got surveillance. This could be abuse, neglect on the water that's going to be outed. Because it's going to be outed. They're going to do something awful. They're going to do something awful with this. Couple, families, trapped inside. I'm just getting hiding, but you've got the devil, you've got death. They're going to use it. They're going to use it, but they will not be able to control military in the Middle East. I think they're going to use it, but it's just going to backfire big time. Now, you guys will remember, it's the deck I was using. I'm going to grab a different deck because these ones are really hard to shuffle. They're slippery. You guys will remember I keep seeing like this madman press the button, and an explosion, and the whole world rocks back and goes, what the? It's got those vibes about it. So let's have a look. Is the regime planning on using this sonic weapon against the people of Iran? Not even going to say the military or anything like that. Now remember, the Shah that they're wanting to reinstall has lived for his whole life, I think, in the US, very USified, pretty much just a puppet leader. The people of Iran want to go back to pre-Shah, when they actually had democratic elections. And the US has been involved in both overthrowing of the democratic elected government and putting in the Shah, and then also in overthrowing the Shah, because apparently the one at the time didn't bend to their will enough, and installing the Ayatollah. So if you look at your history, but let's have a look. Is the regime planning on using this sonic weapon on the people of Iran? I feel sick. I really feel they're thinking about it. It's part of their strategy. And on the bottom, we've got the death card. So in the here and now, they are considering it as one of their strategies. And the challenge is the Two of Pentacles, trying to blackmail, I'm just going to say, money out of Iran. This is money changing hands on the international level, the ship trying to bring the ship into harbour, the rocky seas, overseas. And yeah, it is. It's part of the threatening and blackmailing Iran. The energy that they're stewing in is pointing all these swords. Nightmare situation where all these swords are pointed at this central figure. In the past, the star, the narcissist. This also could be the best of the United States, but the democracy. And remember, I was saying that the Iranian people want to go back to the democracy they had before the installation of the Shah. And there it is: treason, betrayal, plunging the knife in the heart, and the sun. Some sort of, well, that's a huge yes, but it can also be some sort of massive explosion. Are they going? Is this weapon going to detonate a nuclear warhead? Far out. Knight of Pentacles, externally mercenary actions, plan coming to fruition overseas. There's Goebbels Miller himself, the Emperor. Show of strength, but the infighting, throwing under the bus. You did it. No, you did it. And then the High Priestess. Secrets being revealed and judgment. Oh, I'm actually feeling. And on the bottom we've got Death, Ten of Swords. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's not there yet. They have the option not to. Let me have a look. Will the use of this sonic weapon trigger an explosion? Will the use of this sonic weapon trigger an explosion? I don't even want to look. Potentially. It is a potentially. It is just one timeline out of many. Ten of Cups. Completion. Ace of Wands. Big stick. They're telling me to do this. An ending. An ending. As there is this fiery energy. Be careful what you wish for. The Page of Wands. Nuclear fusion. I'm getting there. This just is glowing at me. It is a potential. Page of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Tower. The reduced protection. There's something about a reduced protection here. Be careful what you manifest, because we've got the Tower. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Seven of Pentacles and Justice. Reaping what you sow, and justice, and volatile information coming forward about the explosion. Oh boy. Now I'm really hoping, because there's that Two of Pentacles. There is a choice, but then the Sun card. I think it's going to be revealed who gave the order, who made the choice to do this. Okay. I hope, touch wood, that I'm wrong, because we're not there yet. If I'm wrong, hope I'm wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I was wrong about the limits in the when it was sent to the Middle East last time. The potential false flag, it can still be stopped. New York, that was stopped. I was right, but it was stopped. So until it actually happens, it doesn't happen. Collective energy, not going to happen. Collective energy, not going to happen. Someone's going to say no. Please, 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 someone say no. Okay, let's see how it plays out. See you shortly. Bye-bye.